Hey guys, Stealth here. Welcome to Port. World of Warships, where we're today going to be looking at the Gearing. I haven't seen that many replays of Gearings up lately on YouTube, so I decided to add my own. Now, the Gearing is of course the Tier 10 US destroyer. It's the end of the line, and for me that marked a pretty interesting psychological difference, because once you have a line completed, there's just no further reason for me to play it. It's like you finally made your way down all of the destroyers. You got the Nicholas, the Farragut, the Mahan, the Benson, the Fletcher, and then you finally get the Gearing and you think, yes, I have completed it. And then you never play it. Because the Gearing itself, while it's a very good ship, does not have anything that it can further grind out. And while we all curse it, at the same time, the grind is what we do in World of Warships. Anyway, the Gearing itself, very capable ship. Survivability wise, it has 23,400 hit points, and this is including the commander skill, which is keeping it alive for just a little bit longer. It is the survivability expert, I believe, and this gets you, I believe, 400 hit points per tier. There we go. And this, of course, means that you get 4,000 hit points more than the standard ship does, which is a significant margin, considering that you go from 19,000 to 23,000. So this will give you more hit points. Artillery-wise, and this is including all the perks and captain skills that I have on this ship currently, this thing fires every 2.6 seconds. This is, I believe, the highest rate of fire I have seen on any ship. Maybe the Atlanta can match it, but other than that, I think that this thing has the best reload in the game at 2.6 seconds. 180-degree turn time, very quick. Dispersion is pretty good. And of course you could go for advanced firing training and boost your range, but I find that I usually use this thing for gunfighting. So I go in, find enemy destroyers and take those out. And anything beyond 11 clicks is usually not something that I even try to engage. Torpedoes are decent on the ship. I'm saying decent because while they do have a very nice maximum range, you will rarely, if ever, fire at that maximum range, or at least I don't. And the reason for that is that if at maximum range a ship makes even the slightest course correction, your torpedoes are likely to miss. And with a reload time longer than 2 minutes, it is painful to watch those things miss. So what I usually do is I close into about 8 clicks, maybe even less, and then I fire my torpedoes. And closing in is something that this thing can do very well. 5.9 clicks detection range, and that is including the concealment expert perk on the captain and the concealment module on the ship. These two will allow the ship to get a detection as low as 5.9, which for a tier 10 destroyer is fantastic, because it means that any destroyer who gets to within this range is going to get, you're going to get detected of course, but they are pretty much signing their own death warrant. If they get this close, there is no high chance of them coming out alive. Maneuverability is good, but the ship is not as fast as the Fletcher and it's feeling a little bit less maneuverable. While the rudder shift at 3.3 is very good, the turning circle radius at 640 is a bit more than what the Fletcher can give you at 560. This means that you might not be able to pull the sharp turns that you're used to. And the torpedoes, now that I'm comparing these two ships anyway, the torpedoes on the Fletcher are slightly more devastating at 19,000 damage per torpedo hit. The Gearing does not quite get that. The Gearing gets 17,900, so you're sacrificing 1,100 damage, but you can still put 10 torpedoes in the water. Let's say that 5 of those hit, and you still have a very high damage potential. So, enough chatting, let's get this thing into the war zones and try and sink some enemy destroyers. With the upcoming patch, which is to be 5.9, we are also going to be able to get the smoke screen indicator, so you know exactly where your smoke screen starts and stops. And this will allow the Gearing to be even more lethal, because right now you pretty much have to guess if you're still inside your smoke circle or not. And if you're not, then you are going to get hit. People really, really love shooting at the Gearing because it is such a dangerous ship and it doesn't have too many hit points, so it goes down pretty easily. Now, for targets, I have an Udaloy, a Khabarovsk, and a Shimakaze in the destroyer element. I'm seeing one Kutuzov and a couple of Hindenburgs. So this means that there are not really that many ships around which carry radar. The Hindenburgs might, but what I've seen Hindenburgs do usually is stay at range. There is an enemy Shokaku on the team, and while my AA is pretty good, I would prefer not to have to use it in order to stay concealed. Battleship-wise, we have a Montana versus a Yamato. Now it's going to come down to the player skill of these ships to see who's going to come out successful. Because I have seen Yamatos win from Montanas more often than not. But that doesn't mean that it is going to go down easy. We do have 2 Zaus and a Moskva. So the Zaus can probably sneak up on targets and do a bit of sneaking in. Getting some torpedoes in and hopefully sinking the Yamato. For now I'm going to head over to B to try and contest that area. Now, as someone is already pointing out, we got team killers all over. We have 3, well, potential or accidental team killers on our team. The enemy team, no such thing. Now, the Gearing is nice and fast to get up to speed. You can see the turrets rotate quite fast, and I believe that I have the basic firing training, which allows these things to pump out those 2.6 shells per second. Every 2.6 seconds. And I'm not sure if I have the marksman skill. I don't think so, because the rotation of the turrets is already as fast as I can possibly want it to be. That point something seconds that it might work, or that it is going to give you, is really not that worth it. Now, I'm hoping to get there fast, and I'm expecting both the Udaloy and the Khabarovsk to stay at range, so I'm really only expecting the Shimakaze, and hopefully not even him. If I'm going to be dogfighting, then this area is perfect. Nice amount of cover, nice amount of hills, meaning that the Hindenburgs with their pretty flat trajectory are not that good at killing me. And over on the left we have the Benson, over on the right we have the other Gearing. So I think that we have the cap advantage in the current setup. Let's make true on that. There's the Udaloy. Considering that the game spawns divisions together, I wouldn't be surprised if the other ship of the platoon, which is the Khabarovsk, is there too. And there it is. Khabarovsk. Looks like the Udaloy is getting out. The Benson has taken quite a bit of damage already. And there's the Shimakaze, all the way on the other side. Now, if I let these guys fight it out with me at range, I'm going to lose. If I close in, I'm more likely to win. But at this stage, I don't really want to close in yet. Especially considering that these guys are very close together. And if I do pick a fight with them right now, I'm not that likely to win. I have, however, seen that there's a lot of ships over on this line. And that seems like a very, very nice target for a whole spread of torpedoes. Our Gearing has captured C, we have captured B, and A has already... I was going to say been captured, but not so much. Now, I am going to have to head over to A, because I cannot let 2 destroyers roam around there on their own. Not against 3 battleships. These battleships don't really stand that much of a chance against those destroyers. Quite a few aircraft coming over. I don't want these things to find me, but they probably will. Alright, I might as well... What, are they backing off? Yeah, they're backing off. The question is, have they seen me? Have they registered my presence? I'm not talking so much about the game itself, because the game knows I'm there. I'm talking about, do the other players know that I'm here? Alright, Alpha's been captured. We have a Tirpitz coming in. Hello, Udaloy. Start working this thing over while he's still sitting quite still there. Yep, bit of targets, a bit of target hits there. Just 2 of them though. Oh, hello Shimakaze. Do you want to come out to play? If so, it's going to be a very, very short match for you. Keeping my bow on as much as possible. I do not want to start eating his torpedoes. Talking of which, here's the entire torpedo wall. Just keep sailing straight, and I should be fine. The thing is, there's a bloody Kutuzov coming this way. And the Kutuzov is very, very, very deadly. He might even add torpedoes. Oh, geez, I'm going to go down very quickly. Wow. That was painful. I wasn't expecting that many ships. Now, I might get lucky and kill the Kutuzov as well as the Hindenburg. That would really help out the team. Looks like the Kutuzov is not going to get hit. I think he may have slowed down, but the Hindenburg is not going to be so lucky. There we go, scratch one Hindenburg. As far as the enemies, we're doing pretty even as far as points go. But we're not doing very well as far as losses go. I don't think this is going to be a victory. But then again, I wasn't expecting this many ships here. I probably should have, so my bad. Alright, I'm going to pause it here and wait for the results screen to come up. Let's see how many kills I could have gotten. Now, if you're expecting a series of gameplays of, oh look, my Gearing got 6 kills, 150,000 damage, there are probably those games around. I'm just not really the right player, and the way that I... What the hell? I think I hit the Shokaku. The way that I usually do these replays and reviews, really, is that I just press battle and I see what happens. So sometimes you're going to have some really, really good battles, and sometimes it's just utter crap. So, pausing it here, waiting for the results screen to come up, and I'll be right back with you. Well, as expected, that didn't quite turn out the way I'd hoped. Still, I didn't get that little credits as I had expected, really. 258,000, quite a decent amount of XP as far as being on the losing team goes, but capturing, getting a bit of damage done on multiple different ships did get me some quite nice XP, second place on the team, and as really expected, the enemy team really took us apart one by one, courtesy of the Udaloy and the Khabarovsk. Detailed report, not really too interesting. Bit of damage on the Hindenburg, bit of damage on Shokaku, a little bit of damage on Shimakaze, some hits on Udaloy, and I'm really not sure what happened with that guy. I just hit him, but I didn't do any damage. Credits and XP, the Gearing is quite expensive to run. Repair and service is going to cost you 172,500 credits. So even though it may look good on the front page, 258,000 credits, if you get this thing blown up, you're gonna go negative if you don't have some sort of fantastic match. So let's do another one. Hope that this one turns out a bit better. As far as, let's say, a bit of self-feedback, I would say that I should have done way better than that initial performance. I should have been less aggressive, should have really bided my time and waited for some nicer targets, instead of running off by myself and running right into 3 cruisers, which is, well, it's really not that good of a use of my time, my ship, my resources, or doing any kind of good to my team. Alright, let's wait for the match, and when it starts, I'll be back with you. Alright, we're going to the cold map of Islands of Ice today. 2 Shimakazes, 1 Fletcher. Not too much in the sense of destroyers for me to hunt down, but I can still do quite a bit of damage to them. Yamato, Montana, and Izumo are going to be perfect targets for torpedo strikes. Very, very large ships, very hard to maneuver, bad rudder response time. So those are going to be torpedo targets. My own team has a Montana, Yamato, and an Iowa. The Yamato and the Iowa are in a platoon together, or a division, so that should help. They also get a Kagero with them to keep them safe from destroyers. And let's see where I am going to spawn. Quite critical. Right in the middle of the map. We have destroyers pretty much on all ends. Now I'm going to head right for the middle. They do have, again, one Kuchezov, which I am not entirely sure has radar. But I can at least start spotting for the battleships. I guess that Unz is not really too happy about the matchmaking. I can see his point. They have a few more tier 9 cruisers than we do. But I think that I'm the one balancing that out. We'll just have to make do. There's nothing we can change about the matchmaking. It just is what it is. It's a tiny bit off, yeah. Well, a few torpedo salvos should even that matchmaking right up. I have a fellow destroyer coming with. Looks like the Fletcher's going to help out. And is that Shima even active? Yeah, Shimakaze's active. Looks like he's about to hug the Mogami there. And he's probably going to head for C. Looks like we're going to abandon the A cap altogether. Now what I really like about this map is this little position here. This triangle of these 3 icebergs is going to allow me to get a couple of torpedoes in and quickly dodge back into cover. It's not perfect, there's still a lot of room for mistakes, but more often than not you can quite actively surprise the enemy. Do a lot of damage with torpedo strikes and get the hell out before they know what's going on. I really hope that our Montana isn't heading to A, actually, not by himself. First battleship spotted, second battleship spotted. Probably going to be those super heavies. That's a North Carolina. Where's the other one? Montana. Oh, Shimakaze's been spotted. If at all possible, I do not want to give my position away just yet. Nope, he is running. Unfortunately, we don't have too many cruisers. And there's another destroyer. Oh, that's a Fletcher. Fletcher's got to go. The Fletcher is duking it out with the other Fletcher that we have. I'm a bit worried about that engagement, so I'm going to have to help him out. And as well as, the sooner we can get this Fletcher out of the world, out of the map, the sooner we can get more damage done. Rain death on this guy. I think he's starting to reverse. Look at that Fletcher. He's taking a pounding. Shimakaze is also getting involved. Here comes a torpedo salvo from the dying Fletcher. And our Fletcher seems to be able to kill the enemy Fletcher. At least I hope so. Come on. Yes, he got him. Perfect. 1 for 1 though, as our Fletcher died as well. 5,000 damage done. Not too bad. I'm wondering if the Shimakaze has fired off a salvo. At least he's no longer here. He's not actively contesting the cap, so that's good. A has been captured, so that's where their other Shimakaze might be. I only now realized that the Shimakaze and the Fletcher were in a platoon together, which means that they were always going to join in together. Only makes sense. Quite a few targets. If I'm going to hit these with a torpedo, I'm going to have to lead him quite a lot. And the other problem that I have is that Shimakaze is still out there. Alright, we're going to send some torpedoes this way. And you never know if they might accidentally encounter a Shimakaze. Captured the position, but is being contested. There's the rune. There's the Ismo. They also have a cruiser up north, far into A. I wouldn't be surprised if this rune is going to start responding to the torpedo strike. But so far, yep, someone has spotted it. There's the Shimakaze. That's the thing that we need to kill. With this rune in the region, though, it's going to be hard for me to get a solid engagement in. Alright, let's pop the smoke, slow down, start hammering rune. Get all of those shells pumping out of these guns. Incapacitated. Please focus fire on this target so we can get him out of the zone and start getting the points from it. Put him on fire. Now, as far as the damage output for the Fletcher, the main guns are not very impressive. They do have a high rate of fire, but as you can see, the actual damage that I'm doing is not that good. Really, really not that good. Let's switch to AP, considering he's getting a bit closer. Slowly coming around. Yeah, a bit of damage. Come on, guys, focus on this target before he makes it to safety. There we go, back to HE. Just too far away for AP to be really effective. 1,000 damage there. If I can put him on fire in another spot, that would help out. Come on, almost. He's no longer burning. Gotta change that. We're gonna put him on fire again. Still, there we go. Still inside my own smoke screen, and we have captured the zone. Perfect. Ibuki there seems to be reconsidering his condition or his initial thought to move into this zone. I think he might be reversing. Yep, he's pulling away. Let's head up to this Tirpitz and try and fire some torpedoes into him. Hopefully also get the Izumo. And there's the Shimakaze again. Friedel. It's the other platoon mate. He launched a whole salvo of torpedoes. Not sure who they're aimed for, but it looks to be me at the moment. Or I'm accidentally gonna get in the way. Come on, turn around. Massive amount of torpedoes in the water. What's that Tirpitz doing? What maneuvers is it making? Not really anything, is it? Izumo? Yeah, I might be able to hit both the Izumo and the Tirpitz if I get lucky with my torpedoes. There's no other ships nearby that could get accidentally hit. And I think Shimakaze is backing off. Keeping his distance to make sure it does not get attacked by any of these battleships. Tirpitz, though, it's going to be a 50-50 if I hit it or not. But these things are all very, very close together. There's the Shima again. Looks like Tirpitz is taking a massive pounding from all of these battleships. But I am really concerned about Yamato here. Really, really concerned. Okay, let's light up on the Shimakaze. Torpedoes are about to impact that flotilla. One hit. Come on. Another torpedo hit. It's probably some of the other ships that were behind the Tirpitz. Come on, get the Shimakaze. Very little damage. There's Tirpitz. I set the Shimakaze on fire. I have to head into this ship fast. Put him on fire again. He's going to keep taking damage over time. Talking of damage, they're now actively returning fire. Here comes the torpedoes. Oh, God. Keep heading. Tirpitz gonna die. That's one thing less to worry about. Perfect maneuvering by Yamato. He is taking a lot of hits, but he is still kicking. Just hope he can repair and stay alive. Teams, we are 2 ships ahead of them. And I believe that Shimakaze is dead. Perfect. So there's a Kuchezov and an Ibuki there. Oh, and an Izumo. You're still there. Interesting. Not sure what the Izumo is doing there. Is he grounded or... Nope, he's just sitting there. Okay. Now, if I recall correctly, Kuchezov has a turning circle of about 760, and it's not particularly quick to get out of the way. So let's close in a bit more, get these torpedoes as close as possible. Unfortunately, we just lost our Yamato. Torpedoes in. He's not maneuvering. I'm going to save my second spread, because I want to try and get another target. Izumo is a... That's the one I had a perfect target, on the other hand it's terrible. Kuchezov is now turning away. Damn it. One hit would get me another 17,000 damage. There's Yamato. Jesus, that monster has full hit points? Oh, that's going to be good. And we have 2 more battleships there, as well as a Shima. Oh, I hit him. 1 torpedo. Bit of damage. What's Yamato going to do? Kagero has launched a few torps. Is Yamato going to start turning in or not? He's just going to keep his heading. Izumo seems to be moving. Hold. Stop the ship here. I have to get a bit of movement going, otherwise I'm going to get detected. There, I kept it to the last possible second. The iceberg should conceal my presence here. Let's see what those torps are going to do. Looking good. In the meanwhile, I can pop smoke and start to fire at the Izumo. Put him on fire. Slow down. 1 hit on Yamato. Just 1. It's not nearly what I'd hoped to get, but okay. The Izumo is about to get himself in a whole load of trouble as he has nowhere to maneuver. And I almost have a torpedo spread ready for him. This is gonna hurt a lot. Torpedoes are in. I'm expecting him to slow down. Oh, Jesus. Yamato is also coming around the corner. See, this is when it would be very, very nice to know exactly when and where my smoke screen is. Because now I have to make a break for it. And you put him on fire. Take a bad hit. Come on. This guy was perfect in anticipating my torpedo spread. He knew exactly what I was up to. I'm not going to survive this engagement. I might be able to survive if I cease fire. Because then in 20 seconds I'm gone. Come on. Shit. He got me. So, 127,000 damage done, 4 torpedo hits, a bunch of fire set, possibly a bit of flooding damage. But this game is not looking too good. We do have A and C, but they're contesting B. Shimakaze is still on full health. The Mogami is getting out of here in reverse. What is it with people reversing today? Really, really unusual gameplay there. Mogami's taking a pounding from the Montana, the North Carolina, and the Ibuki. And it's going to go down. Yep, he's down. And these two ships against the Shimakaze with all of those escorts there, or all of those additional ships, that's going to be tough. Let's see if Shimakaze might be able to sink one more ship here before it's going to go down. He fired off 3 spreads. I think he might hit the Carolina if it would just be so kind to keep moving. And the other spread, I think, is aimed for the Kutuzov. Come on, Shima, can you make it out alive? Here's the first torpedo. Look at that Carolina, dodging it like a pro. Other spread of torpedoes. I don't think that torpedo is going to do anything. Alright, we have 2 ships left. 2 cruisers. All the way on the other side of the map. A New Orleans and a Rune. Against 1 tier 10 ship. Correction, 2 tier 10s. A tier 9 times 2. And 2 8s. Yeah, I don't think that this is going to work out very well. Despite all of the damage that I was able to do. This guy is almost sailing broadside onto a Yamato. Let's see if the turrets from the Yamato are aiming his way. Yes, they are. This is gonna hurt Rune unless you can get behind that iceberg right about now. Yeah, you're safe. But seriously, cutting through 60,000 hit points? That's gonna take a lot of work. Shells going out onto the New Orleans. Looks like they're about to hit. Not that bad. Only 2,000 damage. He could have just completely killed off the New Orleans. This could still be quite the exciting match. Although they have more points and more ships. So I think it's only a matter of time. Yamato took quite a hit from the Rune. Returning fire. And Rune did not get hit. Come on. He's firing again. This time Rune is not so lucky and lost about 8,000. Yamato's challenging the sea cap and capping it. That's even worse. I don't think there's anything that this team can still do. Another couple of rounds going in on Rune. Little bit of damage. Again, not too bad. But now the other ships are getting involved as well. Looks like Yamato is repairing. He's getting quite a few hit points back. And they're gonna sink this ship all over again. 45,000 hit points left. New Orleans is doing what it can. It's not really getting too many hits on this ship. Uh-oh. Looks like Moshinek has a plan. Yep, he wiped him out. That was the Uzumo. Probably from somewhere over there. Yep, there he is. And that just leaves us with 1 North Carolina. This is not going to end well. There we go, they capped. Still, 4 times the amount of XP, or 4 times the amount of damage that I got on the last game. 400,000 credits, 2,378 XP. And that gets me the first slot on the team. Not too bad. Detailed report says 127. Couple of nice, yeah, pretty decent damage over time. 42,000. Someone was flooding, possibly the Tirpitz, or Kutuzov. Can I see that? Yep, he took a bit of flooding damage, although not as much as I'd expected. There's the flooding. The Tirpitz died to flooding and fire damage combined. Credits, I probably made positive here. 100,000 credits in the plus, so that's nice. So, bit of gearing action. Doesn't mean that they're all going to be good games, but it is a nice ship. I really, really enjoy playing it. I don't employ it or deploy it that much. Simply because I find it rather expensive to run, and there's nothing to grind. It's like having a sports car in the garage. That's what someone compared it to a couple of months ago. They said having a tier 10 is like one of those sports cars. It's not something you're gonna take out on the road every single day, but it's nice to do a couple of cruises with it from time to time, a couple of road trips. And that's pretty much the way that I consider my gearing. So, hope you enjoyed that gearing gameplay. Let's call these series of games honest gameplays, not the fantastic games, because let's be honest, you're not always going to have fantastic games. Those are 1 in 20, 1 in 50, depending on your player skill. These games, no sort of pre-recording, no sort of planning whatsoever, no divisioning. This is just the way that you could be playing the gearing. So, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon for more World of Warships.